Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is February 28th, 2025. It is the last day of February, and it's not a bad day. I'm not in a sweater today, as you can see. It is about 4 degrees Celsius, and for some of you, you say, well, that's pretty cold. No, that is the start of spring. At least that's what it feels like out there. The snow is melting, and it just kind of feels refreshing out there today. So I can get away with turning the heaters down or off in the house, and wearing a t-shirt a little bit and a light jacket. Now, it's going to get colder again in the evening. This isn't the end of winter for us. We know that, but today it feels a little nicer. Well, it is time for mail day. A lot of it showed up again this week. Some nice surprises in there, as always. And, of course, Stephen has come through with some fun facts and a limerick that we will show you here as well. Today is going to be an extra special day because there's going to be 2 videos coming out today. This video that you're watching right now, and then if you haven't seen it already, because you're either really quick in watching this one, or depending on what your algorithm is, there'll be a second video coming out, which will be the giveaway for Stamp of the Month. That video is also going to be coming out on Friday, the 28th of February. If you're watching this at a later date, all these videos are out, of course, but do check it out. And if you are a part of the giveaway, maybe you got a chance to win. Maybe your name was the one that was picked, so you want to watch to see for that, or congratulate the winner, and then get ready for Stamp of the Month's next video, which will be out tomorrow, and a massive giveaway to go along with that you'll want to participate in too. Also tomorrow is the continued live streams that we do every Saturday at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time, so that one will be out tomorrow if you want to get together, be part of the community, the That Dad Guy crew, as they call themselves. Yeah, come on out, join us, chit-chat a little bit, and we'll ask and answer a few questions. That's the plan anyways. So, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave positive comments, you share with other people, and you put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on anything, because there's always stuff coming out. And this time of the month, this time of the year, a lot of videos are coming out. I do put one out every day, it seems like, and sometimes now, this time of year, I put out 2 a day, so be watching for it. Okay, let's get right into it. Official Postcrossing first, and I didn't get a lot. I got 3 this week, but really nice ones. This one from Venice, Italy, reminds me of when my wife and I were there not that long ago, actually, in October of 2024, and this comes from, says, greetings from Italy. Unfortunately, I don't have any matching your wish list. That's all right, I don't mind. I hope you will enjoy this view of Venice. I live nearby with my wife and our 2 beautiful cats. All the best, Carmelo. So, Carmelo, thank you for that. There are the Italian stamps that went on it too. And beautiful scene. I remember being there well. I love it. All right, the next card comes from Germany. And this is a really fun one. Look at all the hedgehogs. And the reason I'm asking you to look carefully at these hedgehogs, he put a little bit of a game in with this one. This comes from Matt. And he says, wish you and your family a fabulous new year. We all start the year with a small search task. So he says, you have to find the cactus and the hedgehog with the curls. So a cactus and the hedgehog with the curls. You can pause it. You can take a minute, see if you can find it. I found them, but it was kind of a fun little thing to do. And he says, the 2 young foxes on the charity stamp are some of my childhood heroes. Hot peppers are my daily companions. All the best. And that's what he's talking about with the stamps. Cute pictures. And the 2 foxes. So, yeah. A little bit of his childhood, a little bit of excitement with having a game. It's always fun to get something a little unique in that postcard, whether it's the way it's decorated, whether it's in the message that's there, maybe there's a game you've created with the message, or whether it's something to do with the card itself. And speaking of unusual cards and having a little bit of fun, well, this card showed up. Official Postcrossing now. Says, I hope you're making tea. This lobster is very worried about this pot boiling here. This postcard actually is tea. Inside, you can see there's rip tear spots. There's a stamp. It comes from Canada. It comes all the way from my friend Kyler in Prince Edward Island. He actually drew my name, which I think was really cool. So he found this postcard that is a bag of tea. Huh, interesting. So, I've never seen one like that. So Kyler, thank you so much for that. And it was great for him to get a card that he could send that got to me within 3 days compared to the week, 2 weeks, a month, however long it takes some other ones. All right, let's get into some officials. That was kind of my crossover between an official and a direct swap and a friend. So we're going to go with this one. What a beautiful card. It comes from Christian in Australia. And he says, I hope you are well and you enjoy this image. Is it looking familiar to some of you who watch my channel on a regular basis? There are the stamps. This card was sent on the 16th of February. This card that I showed last week was sent on the 7th of February, also from Christian. So he sent me two of the same cards. I think he forgot a week in between and sent two cards to me exactly the same. Yeah, it's a great card. Beautiful image and nice stamps. There's an overlap between this one and this one, but the other ones are nice. So thank you so much, Christian. I really appreciate it. The first time and the second time. Okay, now the next card is from Tasha, and she's in Wisconsin. She sent me this one, Acadia National Park. Nice lighthouse there, sailboat and things. It says, hello, dude. I love your channel. How are you? I love your YouTube channel. Glad the postal strike is over. Keep posting. Love all your videos of the countryside. I do videos of the countryside. I guess I go for walks and hikes and things. You see the countryside that way. So, yeah. I'm so glad that you wrote, that you found it. And there's a stamp that went on it. So thank you so much, Tasha, for sending that on to me and continuing to watch the videos. Okay, my next card. How are we going to do this? Actually, two cards. Come from Zach in Illinois. And they are a walkthrough of the postal system. It says, the United States Post Office is founded by the Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia, July 26, 1775. So it began with Benjamin Franklin's kite experiment in 1752. Then in 1775 to 1783 was the American Revolutionary War. 1775, Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. 1776, July 4th, the Declaration of Independence. Constitution was ratified in 1788. 1791 was the Bill of Rights. 1794 was the Eli Whitney patents on the cotton gin. And that's the Ben Franklin story there. But now it continues into card number 2. So card number 2 says the U.S. Post Office first postage stamp was issued in 1847. 5 cents Benjamin Franklin and the 10 cents George Washington. And then it goes through the dates here. 1803, Louisiana Purchase. 1804 to 1806, the Lewis and Clark Exhibition. 1816, the oldest post office building still in use, established in Boston, Massachusetts. 1825, the Erie Canal opens. 1833 to 1836, Abraham Lincoln is postmaster of the New Salem in Illinois. 1845, first telegraph service begins between Baltimore and Washington. 1849, the California Gold Rush, and in 1855, registered mail service begins. This is celebrating 250 years of mail, and so we've got history of the U.S. and history of the postage system coming from Zach. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if I'll continue to get the rest of the chain of events. All right, moving on to the next card. Kind of a silly card. This one comes from Sarah in Germany, and it says, the text on the front means, a lot to learn you still have. And so this is from Sarah. She's decorated it beautifully with diagonal washi tape and nice stamps and some candy and cakes, all sorts of food that I love. And because it's Star Wars, it's extra cool that way. So thank you so much, Sarah, for the thoughtful card. The next card, you might know who it's from just by the image on the front. This is Bart. And Bart lives in Poland currently. And Bart's mother, Olia, has put this Valentine's Day card together. It says, love is around us every day, no matter what the date. And she always decorates amazingly. And look at that stamp. So the stamp actually is from Belarus because it's cheaper to send mail from Belarus than it is from Poland. And her parents are in Belarus. That's where she's originally from. So she puts together the cards, sends them on home, and her mother, I guess, sends them off for her. So I appreciate that. And it's a really cool stamp. It's even got a little bit of texture to it, which I like. So thank you so much, Olia, for that Valentine's. The next card is this one here. And this is from the Burnaby Meetup in Burnaby, British Columbia. And I don't really know who it's from. I assume it's from Gary, because Gary lives in the West Coast and he's always on, and he said he was going to go to this meetup. But based on the back, it just has the people in attendance. So I'm not sure who exactly sent it to me. It could be Rachel. She's the biggest one here. I don't know her, Rachel. And there's the stamp. So I'm thinking it might be Gary. If it's you, Gary, thank you. If it was someone else, let me know, please. The next is this Postcrossing meetup. And it happened on the 2nd of January in Germany. I like the fact that there's a Canadian connection there. And it says, I attended today my very first meetup, and I wanted you to have this stamp. This comes from Martin. So there's the stamp, and there's the beautiful card, and everything that goes along with it. So thank you so much, Martin, for this. And hopefully you really enjoyed the meetup, and you get to do many more, because there are a lot of meetups that you can go to, especially in England, well, in Europe in general. So, and that one's in Germany, so they definitely have lots. Okay, the next card is this one here. Nice, shaped like a postage stamp. Sending you a piece of my heart. So it's a Valentine's card, and this comes from Renee, and she has included a unicorn for the unicorn gang. Oh, and the stamps, of course. So thank you so much, Renee, for that. And she does have a question on here, so I thought I'd pose the question out there so everybody would know. She says, I know that you enjoy Lego, but do you have any favorite board games? Her favorite is The Dark Tower by Milton Bradley. It was discontinued years ago, but it's back out as a Kickstarter, and her son got a copy of it. So I've never played Dark Tower, so that would be something to look for. But yeah, I do have board games that I love. I love Lego, of course. We play a lot of games here. A lot of them are card-based games, but at one point in time, I used to collect Monopoly sets. So I have Star Wars Monopoly and Lord of the Rings Monopoly and all sorts of different versions of Monopoly. I stopped collecting it when other people started giving me Monopoly sets. Your collection sometimes, in that kind of capacity, kind of stops being your collection. If other people start sending you sets from places that maybe you've never been. I know that doesn't work that way with stamps, and it doesn't work that way with postcards. But with an object like that, when you collect something from someplace you go, if you haven't been there, it's kind of hard to say you collected it. But so yeah, Monopoly was one of my favorite board games. Things like Risk, of course, and Trouble or Sorry, those are great board games. We get together sometimes with friends that are around here that also introduce us into different types of games. Some of them are board games, and some of them are card-based games. So yeah, we love playing different games. It's always been part of something when we were growing up as a family, whether they were tile games like Mahjong or Dominoes. We did those a lot, or card games like Rook, or I don't know. There's tons and tons of Romoli and Rummy and all those sort of card games that are out there too, or dice. Yeah, we play all sorts of games, to answer your question, Renee. All right, the next card comes from Lisa, and Lisa is in Georgia, and she said, this was sent on January 10th. She said, it snowed here in Atlanta for the first time in about 5 years. The city is pretty much shut down yesterday and today. This is because the snow usually melts and turns to ice overnight. This happened in 2014, and the city had a major shutdown. They're now better prepared. So I'm glad they're better prepared. But yeah, if you're not used to getting snow, it really can cause chaos. I know when I lived in Vancouver and they got snow, they just weren't prepared for it. And with the amount of people and the traffic, it does cause a lot of mess and cause a lot of ice, and accidents do incur quite frequently. We're here, we're quite prepared for snow, and we're used to it. So yeah, there still are accidents. People drive too fast when they shouldn't and are still reckless. But yeah, we're used to it. When snow shows up in the wintertime, it's no surprise. Okay, the next card comes from our friend Ross, who is in Canada, but does a lot of traveling for work. So on February 8th, he sent this from Sedona, Arizona. And she says, a very beautiful and peaceful place. So I expect as much. He's very lucky to go to all these wonderful places. And I'm pretty lucky to get some of the postcards from him too. He also sent me this one of Richard Nixon. It got a little bit chewed up in the process to get to me. He said that he was in LA. He was about 10 minutes away from Yorba Linda, so he visited the Nixon Presidential Library while he was there. And then sent me a postcard. So thanks, Ross. Appreciate it. The next card comes from France. And this comes from Ambre. Ambre sends this, asks how I am, which is very nice that she does. And she says she's on vacation tomorrow evening. And she's going to go see a stand-up show with Paul Mirabel. And then she asked for a certain type of card. So that's great. I love the fact that when we're direct trading a lot back and forth. If you see something that I have, that I might have multiple of, it's all right to ask to say, you know, I wouldn't mind one of those Royal Family cards, or those Covered Bridge cards, or those Confederation Bridge, whatever it happens to be, something that's specific to my area, Anna Green Gables. Yeah, I'll try to hook you up if I have it, or I'll look for it and put your name on it next time. She also sent a Year of the Snake stamp from France, which I love. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So yeah. The next is an envelope. It comes from Finland, so it comes from Media. Well, not all envelopes come from Media, but in this case, this one does. And inside, we have a young person getting ready for hockey. And she talks about being a bit sick, but hopefully she's better now, which I think she is. And then this card as well. And she said this ship will sail again in the summer. It goes between Helsinki and Provo. And so she was there. She took the bus to get there, though, not the boat. All right, and then that's it from Media in Helsinki. The next is an envelope that arrived from Eric in Hong Kong. So Eric's been great. If you've been watching the last month, at least, of videos, every week I seem to be getting something from Eric, and he's been trying all the different ways that you can send mail from Hong Kong to me, and varying expenses, and some of them have letters in them, some of them have brochures. In this case, it has a brochure, and it has a really cool brochure of the Stanley Post Office, past and present. So you can see how it has changed and how it still kind of remains the same too in some ways. So it is written in English on the other side, so I were able to read that. So it's kind of neat to see the history of the post office that's been around a very long time. And so he sent that to me. He also sent this, which is a registered letter, so I had to sign for it when I came here. And then he included a letter inside as a kind of a pen pal. So thank you so much. You must be running out of ways to send mail, and you can see exactly how long some of them takes. So these two items, registered and this particular one, took exactly the same amount of time. Maybe within a day of each other they arrived. So if it costs a lot more for registered, probably not worth it, because the other one arrived just as quickly. Okay, moving along. The next is this envelope arrived with a cancellations up here. It missed the stamp. Pretty cool looking stamp. Comes from England. And inside we have a card that comes from Paul. Ooh, put it the right way up. So Paul is Car Boot Philately on Instagram. He reached out to me ages ago and wanted to send something, so he did. And now he's sending a proper card, but he's also sent a few stamps. So I'm going to save those special stamps for another video next week so you can see. And then I received this envelope. Thank you, Paul, by the way. This envelope came from Ida Marie in Maryland, and she sent a card. It's a folded card, rural route number, so U.S. mail doing the rural route. As you might know, I'm a rural route driver as well. I don't do horse and buggy though. And this says, discovering the Civil War. The design of this antique letterpress card was reproduced from the authentic letterhead found in the National Archives Civil War pension files. The cards were produced to mark the 150th anniversary of the U.S. Civil War, fought between the northern and southern states from 1861 to 1865. The central event is in U.S. history. The war resulted in the abolition of slavery, a stronger federal government, and the reunification of the nation. So, something to think about as time marches on and events happen around. Well, inside that envelope were some stamps. So some of the stamps have ended up in the giveaway. So thank you so much, Ida Marie, for helping produce or send some stamps that are going to be part of next month's giveaway, as well as this month's giveaway, which is happening today. So the other stamps you'll get a chance to see later. Speaking of stamps that you might get to see later, Stephen from Australia, he continues to send envelopes. These envelopes, you can see the stamps on the front, wonderful stamps, are filled with stamps themselves that are for the giveaways coming up in the next couple months. Some of them are going to be for tomorrow, and the rest will be in months to go. And that being said, this envelope arrived from England, and this comes from Liverpool Stamps, who is a partner as well in the giveaways, and so they have sent on some more stuff for next month's giveaway. So we're ready for next month. I've got all the stuff in the giveaway has arrived now. We are ready to go, so I will be producing the next Stamp of the Month video for tomorrow, and watch out, it's a big giveaway, that's all I can say. All right, let's finish this video with Stephen in Australia once again sending in his limerick. It has arrived by email, and it says, historical and legendary limerick number 9. Now William he planned and he planned to increase the size of his land. So to England he sailed, Harold's eye he impaled. The court ladies stitched the whole thing, seen by hand. All right, so that's a historical reference. And so he says here, before we get into the fun facts, here's a little quiz on your knowledge of the Bayeux Tapestry, which famously depicts the Battle of Hastings. So he's given me 5 questions, or giving us 5 questions that you can play along with at home and see if you can guess them. They're all true and false. So the Bayeux Tapestry got its name because it was made in Bayeux in France. True or false? Let's say true. Makes sense, right? There are more women than dogs depicted on the Bayeux Tapestry. I'm going to say false to that one. The Bayeux Tapestry was made by Matilda of Flanders, the wife of William the Conqueror and her ladies at court. I'm going to say false to that one as well. The Bayeux Tapestry depicts King Harold of England being shot in the eye with an arrow. I will say true. And the final is, Halley's Comet is shown in the Bayeux Tapestry. And I'm going to also say true to that one. So if you disagree with me, let's find out if you got it right. It says, now read the fun facts to see how you went. So, number 1, the Bayeux Tapestry is nearly 70 meters, 30 feet long, or 300 feet long, excuse me, 50 centimeters, or 19.7 inches high. However, it was neither made in Bayeux. It was almost certainly made in Canterbury in England by 8 to 10 nuns, not ladies of court, nor is it a tapestry, it's an embroidery. It's also thought to be incomplete. So there, I got it wrong. It wasn't made in France, but I did get it right that it wasn't made by the wife of King, Matilda of Flanders. All right, the tapestry is made from at least 99 pounds or 45 kilograms of wool in 10 colors embroidered into linen. Okay, interesting. The tapestry depicts 263 men, 190 horses, 37 ships, 35 dogs, and only 3 women. So I did get that right. There were more dogs than women in that. I figured based on the scene that probably not a lot of women on that. Oh, and Halley's Comet. This is not to mention an unbelievable number of... Oh, wait, okay. Before I get into that, it says, oh, and Halley's Comet. So yes, we got it right. If you said true, Halley's Comet is in the tapestry or the embroidery. It was. So yes, that's true. And then it says, this is not to mention an unbelievable number of penises, although probably best not to go there, but 93 if you're asking, 88 which belong to horses, so possibly not as titillating as first thought, but then there are those other 5. Okay, so there's a little bit of extra for you. If you're going to look up that tapestry, there might be some details you could look for, or not. And then number 4, the tapestry famously shows King Harold being slain by a well-aimed arrow that went through his eye. Industrial health and safety obviously wasn't rigorous in those days, otherwise he would have been wearing safety goggles. So yes, if you answered true that he was shot in the eye and it was on the tapestry, you would have gotten that right too. It says, the figure in question was previously thought to be Harold because it appears under the word herald in a longer Latin inscription, Herald Rex, meaning Harold is king. It says Herald Rex, interfectus est, which means Harold is king. Killed, not king. Number 5, one of the great mysteries of the tapestry is that one of 3 women depicted is named, I can't even say that. Sorry, Stephen. This woman appears to have been in some importance, firstly because she is depicted, but also because she is clearly named. The problem is that no one has any idea who she is. So it says, how did it go with the quiz? I think pretty well. I got most of them right. Did I answer them all right? No, not all of them. And then he says, if not, it may be because not everything you know about the Bayeux Tapestry is correct. A lot of fake news. There you go. So, fact check your stuff as much as you can. But I can tell you, Bayeux Tapestry, I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on it. So some of those guesses I had were just that, guesses. How about you guys? Did you know about it? Do you have a good picture in your eye, in your mind's eye, what it looks like and how many of these images were there? The Halley's Comet thing I'd heard before, so that's how come I was quick to answer true to that. And just because of the scene that it's depicting, that's why I said that there weren't as many women in it and more dogs in it. So that is everything for today. I've told you about what is upcoming. There's a lot of upcoming stuff, so stay tuned. You'll have more to watch, more to participate in if you're going to be a part of the live stream tomorrow. And there's always stuff going on. We're even talking about stamp versus stamp, so that'll probably come out next week as well. When I get time to get around to film the things that I need to film to get to Smokey, and Smokey's sending stuff to me. We've been talking about it, getting our ideas together, and yeah, it'll be fun as always. All right, that's it for now, you guys. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye. You're always waiting now. I know you are, to figure out what I'm going to be doing next. And we're going to be talking about the giveaway next. I talked about it earlier in the video. Well, that video is coming out soon.